Hey YouTube, this is FlameMDQ. So I've been asked to make a tier list of Samurai Shodown a lot of times, but I don't feel to make a tier list because I don't play too much competitive of this game. So instead of that, I'm gonna do a tier list similar to my last video, you know, the big one. But instead of normal tier list, this is a difficult tier list. Alright? So every character in order, I'm gonna do the 30 characters, los 30, and I'm gonna put in order every single one into the most easy to the hardest to play. The hardest to play, I mean, in a normal match, how hard can be to put to do this thing on a match and don't die by the shenanigans. The easiest character in the game is Haohmaru, number 1. Why Haohmaru is the most easy character in the game? Well, if you're asking me why it's not the other character you are probably thinking, that is number 2, spoiler alert. The reason Haohmaru is the most easy character in the game, it's quite simple. It's a all-around Shoto. I mean, look at this. Mexican uppercut, Shoryuken, Hadouken, I don't care neutral, and projectiles. Take this. And if I don't have sword, which is like this, if I don't remember, wait, like this, I can still do this. The guy just skips neutral by playing Shoto. In fact, you can do like this and just keep running and show you everything on your way. The thing why this is the most easy character and not Warden, which is number 2, it's simply inputs. If you play any fighting game, even if a Smash Bros player will tell, this is a Hadouken, this is a Tatsu, this is a Shoryuken, they all like, oh, where's the inputs, what are the moves? Just that. That's why it's the most easy character. Because everyone playing a 2D fighting game gonna try to do a Hadouken, a Shoryuken, a Tatsu, and whatever the moves all the time to say, oh, this do something. What is... If I do Tatsu, it's a projectile, it's an attack, it's a counter, what is my move? But I got something on that input. Regardless of what. The only problem with Haohmaru playing in a high-end level is quite easy. The guy doesn't have lows. Like, real. This is low, this is low. And that's it pretty much. You got 3 lows, you're welcome. But for the most part, Haohmaru got high damage, like respectful, and in some attacks high damage. And the inputs are easy and can do cancels quite easy also, see? The feints are easy. This isn't a character to make your life harder. So yes, Haohmaru is the first one. Número 2, Warden. You're probably asking me why Warden is 2 and not 1. Well, actually the question is quite simple. Fundamentals. Yes. In order to play Warden properly with a human being that is not playing the game for the first time in his life, you actually need to do the fundamentals with Warden. You got this thing, and you got this thing, and that's it. You're like, oh, you got 2 moves only, but you got gigantic buttons. This is a low. I mean, look at these buttons. They're nice. They're comfy. But the thing with Warden, you need to be the master of target combos. Or, as I said wrong in the last video, Rekka Master. You need to remember all these combinations all the time. Like this. You need to do full target combos, feints, all the time. Literally all the time. And you need to remember how long your attacks. This being a low. This attacking like this. Do this kick. This probably is a cross. No, this isn't a cross. No, it's a cross, see? You need to remember all this kind of stuff, but it's fundamentals of the game. And it's not so likely to the most basic players. So you don't have moves to do. Yeah, congratulations, but you need to do the fundamentals at great level to play with someone who actually knows how to play this game. That's the problem with Warden. Número 3, Tam Tam. So why Tam Tam is that easy? Well, Tam Tam got gigantic, stupid, big buttons. I mean, literally, you are like, how to neutral with Tam Tam, and you do this. Even if he jumps in slow motion, this is titanic big. Like, just look at this thing, it's gigantic. And you're like, oh, you got 3 buttons, and what more? You can just spam trash all the screen, and zoning all the way out. Sometimes you can catch some enemies off guard with the command grab, which is funny, but not wow. I mean, it's a good tool. It's a really good tool, but it's not the wow. Watch out. Also, you got this mashing tool, which on hit do this thing. It's not exactly good. It's not good, to be honest. The thing with this move, yes, you pretty much are giving away bar on someone smashing back, with choose defense. And you can also give free bar with this thing. This move is 3 meters to the opponent. That's the other thing with Tam Tam. Tam Tam got moves that give free bar to the opponent pretty easy. That's why it's kinda hard to play it on highest level, but in easy levels it's just, yes, skulls are funny, explosions are funny. So for the most part, you got controls on the screen everywhere, but in highest level can be a problem this, and it's probably why it's low tier, the poor guy. Even he's tall as hell. Number 4, Galford. Galford is quite easy character. You pick him and you understand 2 things. This thing and this thing. And then, congratulations, you know how to play Galford. If you watch pretty much every tournament of SamSho, you will notice every Galford is doing this the entire match. Why? Because it's useful. Galford is excellent zoning, doing this all the freaking match, and it's like, stay away from me. Poppy, lining, poppy, lining, poppy, lining, poppy, lining. That's pretty much Galford game plan, and some Galford remember they can do this. And some Galford remember they can do the teleport, something like this, all the time, and they're gonna do it all the time. But pretty much the zoning game of Galford is quite easy, and you just need to remember what buttons do the dogs forward, and just freaking do Izuna drop to the opponent. Galford is easy for that. It's the zoning one-on-one. Hey, how easy is your zoning? Yes. When is advisable to hit the dog? Yeah. The reply is no. You don't. You just suffer. Número 5. I'm Dora el Explorador. Número 5. Iroha. Horny of mine. It's a Shoto. And it's playing Street Fighter. I mean, you don't run. This is a dash. The only thing make it harder to Iroha is actually this. Whoop, 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 whoop. You got double jump. Also, you got a command grab. Oops, no. This one. That one was a parry, and yes, Iroha got a parry, and nobody remembers that for some reason. And also this shoulder attack. But the thing with Iroha, it's quite easy because got some nice buttons like this one. I mean, look at this thing, it's gigantic. This is actually good range, and if you confirm, you can do pretty much a combo free on the first hit. It's like, oh, first hit, and I just go nuts. Or like this. Iroha, it's not hard to play at all. And if you play Street Fighter and you just, I'm gonna play a Ryu character, you just play Iroha, because the only thing is you got double jump and you can shoot projectiles down. The hardest part is probably learning how to do this Shoryuken move on forward on direction you want, because air supremacy. And also do a command grab super, which is the only command grab super in the entire game. That's the hardest part with Iroha. But the easy part is just like, oh, I got nice buttons, Mexican uppercut, and my super is like, yes, I can hit on 2 directions and move like a Beyblade. Iroha is not hard at all. The only hard part of Iroha is just jumping. Keep that in mind. Número 6. Kibakami Genjuro. o Genjuro, o Genjuro, o como quieras decirle. So the thing with Genjuro is quite simple. You do this, and you go neutral. You do this, and you skip neutral. Congratulations on your tutorial of League of Weapon. And people jump and you do this. Welcome to Genjuro gameplay 1-on-1. So the problem with Genjuro is quite simple. You got some nice attacks in all the direction and stuff, but you need to remember, for example, this is not a full screen projectile, or you can actually do this thing, and make the thing return again, which is awesome, if you ask me. And it's like, yes, I need to keep attacking. Cool stuff. But the problem with Genjuro is quite simple. This thing is not true combo. This is skip neutral attack. So if you got an enemy who actually knows how to stop this thing, you got a problem. If you don't, you're safe. So it's a nerf check, or more like defense check thing. That's the hardest problem of Genjuro. It's a good chart if you want to rush down like Yorishigami, because it's pretty much the Yorishigami of the game, but with not a full screen projectile. Número 7. Wan Fu. Wan Fu is a freaking gorilla. But let's get serious. If the thing with Wan Fu is, if you want to play this guy kinda okay, like you are not just a gorilla, you actually know how to play crouching, do this thing, which is a good attack on good screen. See? It's actually really far. And do this Shoryu on command. But the most part, it's the switch side attack. When you toss the pillar, the thing is, you are unarmed. And yes, you got this extra punch and the command grab. But thing doesn't change, you freaking throw your weapon. And you need to recover. That's the hardest part of playing Wan Fu in hard level. You actually need to remember, I throw my weapons and I'm in troubles now. So if I choose throw my weapon and I get command grab full screen again, I'm gonna trouble. Because I need to get in, do this punch, or command grab my opponent to recover my weapon. You can also do some footsie with, you know, like this. And just bat your enemies with fire, because everything do a knockdown. Which is quite easy and quite gorilla. But the thing is, if you lose your weapon with Wan Fu, you must recover it fast in some way. Because you get extra chip damage, or your opponent can do something to throw you all the way away from your weapon, and you're just that. You're like, yes, what am I gonna do with my weapon? I'm gonna do command grab all the way, because that's the reality with Wan Fu. It's just throw your weapon and pray to get it back all the time. So from this point, these aren't the very easy characters. This is just easy. So this is 4 stars difficult. Or 2 if you wanted it that way. And the first one is Hibiki. Hibiki is an easy character, but got some things you need to remember and learn and the stuff. The highest problem with playing Hibiki is quite simple. The run. I mean, this is running with Hibiki. As you can see, I stop on his face. Why? Because the game should stop me. But if I do the run, I don't stop and push my enemy away. Why? And they look identical because you need to do the run. And do this thing, or do this thing, all the time. And you can also combo from this thing, which is... Yes, like that. See? And do insane high damage with that. But it's a risky. You're running to the face of your opponent. It's not easy. Just running to the face of your opponent when in a game when you can do this. It's not exactly a good idea. Or not a safe idea at least. So you need to be careful when running with Hibiki. And in other news, you remember you got a counter. This thing it's quite hard to master. Also, you got this overhead, and it's to combo actually. But you pretty much need to got an enemy scared to the death to hit that. Hibiki also got a TOD, but it's insane hard. So the problem with Hibiki is quite simple. You need to get in all the time. You got some buttons to defend yourself like this thing, and this is a low. But for the most part, the problem with Hibiki is you are defenseless and you need to run in the face of your opponent all the time. Darli. Darli in my video is actually on very easy, but I'm gonna put it a bit harder, with up, because one single thing. So Darli is a scrub killer semi-gorilla. Why? I mean, look at this thing. It's gigantic. This thing is big. You can just poke enemies from really far away or scare them at least. See? This thing is big. This is a cross. This is an overhead. I mean, you got some tools to scrub killer people with gigantic buttons. And you got the punch, but the punch is just Saitama moment and the opponent must be scared as hell or brain dead to being hit by that. The problem with Darli is you got some moves that puts you in a free die situation. Like, you do this and hit the opponent. But if you mistake, you can get hit pretty easy. Even if the recovery is quite good, you can get counter attack by anti-aerials pretty easy, which is half of the arsenal of Darli. She really has to jump. Unlike KO14, you can only do this forward, and also looks like this. I mean, it's decent damage. You can do that, like, you need to do like four times and a hit to kill someone with that. You can do it anti-air like KOF 15. And also the most important problem with Darli, the hammer. The hammer actually does a lot of damage. I mean, this is soft hammer, but as you can see, doesn't combo. I can do combo with hammer. And also, it's more like instead of a hammer, you have to think like a bat of baseballs. You can do this and evade, but while you're doing this, you are pretty much open free to attacks. And you need to calculate to reverse attack, because no one is gonna stay so steady and let you charge the attack. And also, if they charge the attack, they're gonna jump it probably. You're like this, you're like, oh, I'm gonna put my opponent attack, and they're waiting. Yes, and you waste all the time for literally nothing. And hit that thing like an anti-air, it's pretty hard. So reflecting projectiles and doing that like an anti-air is actually hard with Darli. The good thing is you got this super, which got armor and is a reversal pretty much, which is awesome. And you got the another super, which also works kinda like anti-air. But the problem with Darli is quite simple. The hammer is half of your tool, and learning how to use the hammer, it's not an easy task. Especially if you think someone like Hibiki is gonna run to your face all the freaking time and you're like, I need to charge this thing up, or it's nothing. It's meaningless. And you get the Oki and you're like, okay, my turn. And Hibiki is running to your face and you miss this, and yes, you're dead. Kazuki. Kazuki, it's quite simple to use because you got the Shoryu, you got the Hado, and that's it. You're like, oh, I got the two main things of a Shoto. But things you need to remember with Kazuki, and like, oh, I have to do this. Number one, you actually got a one jump. Why? Because the problem with Kazuki is this is your air attack. Like, the only way Kazuki attacks below is down B. See? Down medium to do this attack. And as you can see, it doesn't even combo. So I mean, there I can combo, but it's quite tricky, and you need to actually do the down attack in the right moment to just attack and not just whiff. See? Do it really, really low, or you whiff. The second problem with Kazuki is fire. You need to do this thing, which is not hard because in some scenarios you can choose, I don't know. Let's wait this. In some scenarios you can choose do something like this, and this gives you time to load 1 or 2 times the fire, which is nice and easy. But you need to do things to actually load the fire, charge up, and start the combo machine. Things like, I think it's like this. There we go, you got this combo, but you need to charge 2 stacks and do that exactly attack. I mean, you got some situations, and also your Shoryuken is not a Shoryuken, your reversal is this thing, which is a teleport back with explosion that deals decent damage, not gonna lie. But it's just it's quite easy to see the it's about to blow and you just block. I mean, you can use it as an anti-air to escape and keep loading flames, but that's the problem with Kazuki. You have to actually think about what are your buttons because they are not just traditional. I mean, you got this gigantic anti-air, but you also got an anti-air, which is a hit into command grab. I mean, this is not a command grab, it's just a normal hit and the animation is look like grab. You need to actually load fire to do good damage and to do the only 1 or 2 combos you got. And if not, you are playing with this weird air attack, weird buttons in general, and if you forget, you look at this, I have to do it really below to actually hit my opponent. I mean, it's not that just, oh, I jump and attack and heavy attack. No, you can't. It's not Darli. It's not that simple. Next one is Shizumaru. Shizumaru was also in the very easy area in the video, but I'm gonna put it on the easy area just because projectile is, well, it's kind of weird. Also, you got the flying thing, which is like interesting, but at the same time it's weird. Mostly because you have to do this dive attack, which is awesome, but at the same time this kind of thing is just Shoryuken, you're neutral. Shizumaru got the most insanely easy to confirm special attack in the game, which is this thing. Yes, I'm gonna do, you have seen the animations 1 million times because it's the best super in the game. But also destroy enemy projectiles, so if you can do it on reaction, you can just kill the opponent from through the screen, and that's it. But the problem with Shizumaru on questions is you got so many tools. If you want to actually play the game and not just do this all the freaking day, and this, and skip neutral with this, or remember, oh, you got this thing with this negative hedge. You actually need to remember you got all these tools to actually make it useful, because even if you got some cool buttons like this attack, this one, on all this stuff, like it's kinda good. It's good range, good attacks, nice looking buttons. You actually need to remember you got all these things, and you need to use it in all the time, because the more unpredictable you can become, the better. That's general in every single fighting game. It's like you don't want the enemy to see you and say, oh, it's about to do the stupid projectile full screen all over again. And Shizumaru, it's a tricky boy. The umbrella boy got so many tricks. Yep. Tokugawa Yoshitora, it's how many special moves I got, and the answer is yes. The thing with Yoshitora, it's quite simple. You got like, just like Shizumaru, you got too many tools, and I mean too many tools. Like, you even can skip this thing with just jumping. Every single attack is like, I'm gonna do a 32 combo hits in this game. And get your way to actually do all the cool stuff and unlock the 7 sword, which is your skip neutral, I win the game. Also got this super, which hits low. So Yoshitora is a tricky character with so many good tools. But the problem with Yoshitora is quite simple. You got so many tools, you need to remember which one is what. I mean, it's just think like you're playing a Witcher game and you need to pick the silver sword and the iron sword. Well, the same thing, but you got 7 swords now. Every single tool is good for a situation, and the other problem is you got this thing. The infamous 5 hits, choose defense, attack. Yes, why choose defense? Because one normal thing to do on when you practice SamSho is just practice choose defense. And it looks like this. Choose defense. That's casualty. That's random. Okay, my opponent just randomly to throw a press back and he got lucky. And now I'm gonna do this. Yes, congratulations. You give your opponent half of the meter by just pressing back in a time, in like a rhythm game. Yeah, that's pretty much Yoshitora problem. You got some attacks that are quite easy to choose defense, but the guy got so many tools. He just hey, my opponent is jumping. I'm gonna do this or this. My opponent is no, I'm gonna do this. My opponent is trying to do intelligent stuff. I'm gonna do a multi-hit combo. My opponent is blocking. I'm gonna do a command grab. You got so many tools. But the problem is, you need to remember all of them, and unlike Shizumaru, he actually got a reason to use all these tools. To summon a freaking big sword and skip the neutral entirely for the rest of the game. And then you just play Yoshitora. How to play Yoshitora? Hey, I got the 7 swords, I win. Of course someone can stop this, but as you can see, it's a quite risky choose defense try. Next one is Earthquake. Earthquake is a stubby kind of this. It's kind of weird because got these buttons which are everything is big. He's big. The problem is quite easy. You are so big, everything hits you. But you can do backdash quite easy. You can do this ninja jump. So your defense is actually quite good. You can command grab on repli. It's like, oh, down. I punish whatever you did with a command grab. That's it. You can actually punish with more damage doing a heavy slash, of course. But the thing is, the heavy slash is insane big range. I mean, look at this thing. I'm almost full screen and hitting my opponent. I mean, it's just one hit, but it's still safe. The biggest problem with Earthquake is probably mashing this thing, because you need to actually mash it, and I'm not quite used to do that. And it's also the rage move, which is a problem if in this game to do mashing attacks. I mean, they are not quite easy, to be honest. If you are used to mash attacks, I'm not, sorry. And the other thing with Earthquake is quite easy actually. It's the skip projectiles. Someone throws a projectile and you do this all the freaking day. I mean, Earthquake it's quite easy, and obviously Scrub Killer with all these kind of weird moves, punishing full screen in so many ways. Randomly command grabs people. And my input. I'm doing this thing, which is the most annoying move probably in the freaking game. But that move actually can be deflect quite easy. You just choose defense once and bye. That's it. Just deflect my opponent. Earthquake it's a screw killer, but it's not just so simple as I gonna push 2 buttons and my opponent's dead. No, you actually need to do some stuff and to play some smart game. But the smart game is just pick the right choice for things, because you are insane big, and it's actually funny because you are actually so big, your hitbox is so big. You get hit so really easy, even if you got receive less damage. Fun fact, Earthquake, Warden, and Wan Fu are the only characters who receive less damage. So keep that in mind. They receive 5% less damage. But you need to keep track on that in some situations, on when you're doing optimum, you're like, yes, it's gonna kill. No, you may be careful with that. So we are now on the medium characters. Okay, these are not easy, they are not very easy. This is medium rank, 3 stars. And we start with Charlotte, or Carlota para los pibes. So Charlotte is a good Shoto zoner. I mean, got some really good moves to just keep control on the screen from most of the distance and just, hey, go back to your place, and I'm gonna keep doing this thing all the day. And if someone jumps on me, I got this so freaking fast Shoryuken. The hardest part with Charlotte is 1, your optimal damage is this thing. As you can see, you need to actually mash a lot. That's your most damaging attack. The second problem with Charlotte is she is not as fast as other characters while running. Maybe with backdash is normal, and it's a bit floaty when jumping, even if she got this really big cross up. And the buttons are actually good, but even if she got nice buttons, they are not exactly as fast as looking at. You actually need to be careful what you are touching and play a smart game on the defense. Mostly because you can just keep your opponent on the corner doing this all the time, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna do this, my opponent is about to jump, I charge, oh, my opponent is coming, I stop that on, or this is an anti-air, this is an anti-air. I mean, you can just keep your ground all the time, but you actually need to be brave enough and steady to actually keep your ground all the time, and remember and get the moment to actually do this thing and punish your opponent with insane damage. I mean, that is 240. Charlotte receives normal damage, so 4 times that is a kill almost. So you have, if you do it twice in a round, that's enough to make your opponent scared. Kyoshiro is actually a quite easy character in some ways, but in order to actually have potential with this character, you have so many tools and you need to use it in some specific ways. And the most special one is this thing. You can actually, while crouching, choose like Wan Fu. So you are like, oh, I get it. You need to do these low buttons. This is a low. I mean, look at this thing. This is a low. You got projectiles, you got Shoryuken, you got command grab, you got fire. You got really good tools. And you got this super which hits on the back. Not gonna lie, don't try just to defend that, just punish normally and like that's it. It's not a problem. But the problem with Kyoshiro is quite simple. You jump really slowly and you need to do something like this. And Kyoshiro really likes to say, aha, I got you. Like the opponent jumps and you do this. And Kyoshiro, it's literally stunned on the situation for a moment. Like, see? See that? With the head? I'm gonna move. I'm holding move it. See? Takes a moment. Everything takes a moment because Kyoshiro is like, yeah, I got you. No. And in that, I got you, he made, you are open. That's the problem with Kyoshiro. So you need to actually control all the ground with this thing. Medium, projectile, long distance fire, Shoryu, and command grab. But the thing is, if you make a mistake with Kyoshiro, Kyoshiro is like, aha! No, it's not aha, you are dead. But I recommend this character if you like to play the neutral game, just like Charlotte, but you like more another kind of ground base, more like Wan Fu in a sense, which is more reward and more risk. High reward, high risk. You know the game. Karasutengu Yashamaru. So the problem with Yashamaru is quite simple, and this is why it's a medium character. You got 3 moves, and you have double jump. You know what I mean, right? You got little duels, you got this big button, and this, and you actually need to remember how to use it. I mean, you can do this thing on different angles, and in some way it's like skipping neutral, because you can do really much to get close to your opponent and punish, but also you need to remember this can happen. I mean, literally a melee. Just watch this. I just fly away on the face of my opponent and nothing happened. These do good damage, 200. Okay, I can do it 5 times and I win the round. Yes, you can do it, but if you mistake and do something like this, yeah, your opponent is open and can go chase you because you make a simple mistake. All your game is I got you. All the time is that thing. Also, every single of your moves use rage, which is awesome, and at the same time it's more risky because your rage moves also, of course, leads you more open. So if you try to do a punish with a simple button, you may get still so negative and you get hit. If you want to play this character, the biggest problem is just be creative with jumping, and remember, hey, this move goes diagonal. So it's similar to Iroha in that sense, but it's a rush down. Cham Cham or Chamcho. Au au. Cham Cham is quite funny because it's what people say is an annoying character. I mean, God, this is fast, this is long, this is long, this is, and you're like, okay, you got the boomerang, but the boomerang is, even if it's long, the recovery is quite freaking slow, which is a problem. The good thing, Cham Cham got really good buttons running. Like, you can do this, and it's combo. Or you can do this, it's an overhead. Or you can do this, and it's a cross-up. I mean, look at that, it's still the corner. Or I do this, and it's a low. You can actually do a lot of stuff with Cham Cham running, which is awesome, but just like Hibiki, running to the face of your opponent can be suicide. So be careful on that. Good thing, Cham Cham is 100 damage taken, not 95 or not 105 like some characters like Mina or Hibiki, and you're like, okay, I'm not gonna die pretty so easy, but he's still running to a blade. The other problem with Cham Cham is the boomerang. This is a short boomerang. Yes, there is just a hit in the line boomerang. It's not exactly quite. It's like close, but it's not exactly quite close. It's like you wanted something like this, and it's not even combo. See, doesn't combo. So the problem with the boomerang is the light boomerang is too short. The main boomerang is okay. You can just poke some enemies with this thing. And the heavy boomerang is the full screen thing, but if the opponent got some way to avoid this, you are, well, kinda dead. I mean, this hits a lot of times, and the boomerang on diagonal is like, hey, boom, even if on melee, which is awesome, unlike Yashamaru. And like, hey, my opponent jumps, I got you, I freaking got you. So you can actually aim down your opponent with just some nice boomerang shots, which is freaking cool because, hey, I see you, duck. And also you got the demo flip. The problem with the demo flip is quite simple, it's a jump, and somebody shoots deep in your face and that's it. Even if you got this thing and the low, the problem with Cham Cham is quite simple. You can just need to play this thing all the time, and you need to be tricky with all the demo flips. For the most part, that's the problem with Cham Cham. Your buttons are weird, you need to run, and you need to be tricky as hell doing demo flips. That's Cham Cham Glimp for you. The next one is Cirno. Okay, Rimururu is a summoner, which is obvious, because she spammed this all the freaking day, and the angle, it's the most annoying as hell thing ever. Like, welcome to skip everything. The projectiles, this thing goes below projectiles. This thing is lightning fast. I mean, just look the area, it's titanic big. On rage. You got a mashing button, you got this knife, I mean, you got really nice options with Rimururu to do a lot of stuff and control the screen, especially the most evil thing ever, which is this. And congratulations, that whole area is now a hitbox, and enemies are doomed. See? I mean, look at the damage. This hit 200! 200 for just... Hey, I gonna move myself over here and touch the ice. No, you are about to die. Bye. 105 if you jump and hit you with your head. The problem with Rimururu is quite simple. If someone gets close and you can keep them away with your freaking ice moves all the time, which got some weird angles, that's your problem. But if not, you can just spam ice all freaking day full screen. It's an annoyingly, surprisingly good Sonic character with space control. The problem is quite simple. Your enemies are too short and you need to actually do this and pray don't get blocked, because that's of course infinite negative block. Kazama Sogetsu, the brother. So if you're thinking, oh, it's the water guy, is really different from his bro, you are kinda okay and kinda wrong. The problem with Sogetsu is quite simple. The guy just want to do this all the freaking day. This is the Sogetsu peak gameplay. All the freaking time. Enemy is down, you put water. Enemy is up, you throw water. And if you got a chance, you do this. That's just a simple button, and it's like 75% of the screen. See? It's probably one of the lowest damage on a heavy attack in the game. But it's still like, oh, I reset neutral, baby. Let's go neutral. And you just put water on the screen, Shoryus on the screen, lightning fast, almost full screen. And if they go close... Yes, skip a neutral, baby. Teleports. I can put myself far away, behind you, on your face. The problem with Sogetsu is quite simple. You actually have to play this game all the time. I hit you from really far away and that's it. You can actually do this, but that's pretty much your only combo material with the super and all the stuff. Also, you got the most evil level 3 in the entire game, which is this thing. I mean the super special move. It's just, hey, I'm gonna throw this full scream and there goes 500, no, this is like 65 damage. It's just evil. Full screen, oh, I hit you on the feet. Block low. Welcome to Sogetsu gameplay. Next one is tuberculosis with neutral. Ukyo got this thing. It's gonna do it all freaking game. No me sale a mí porque la verdad que no me gusta jugar con Tiger Knee. This move is the reason Ukyo is a war criminal in this game. Dios, no me sale. But this sword is just lightning fast starter and deflect projectiles. So Ukyo can do... Ukyo doesn't care about projectiles because he can do this. And can go forward like this. And also can trick you all the day with this thing. Ukyo big gameplay. But also this thing is gigantic big. Like for real. Look at this thing. And it's 230 if it hits you once, because all the combo starter. Ukyo problem is mostly the Tiger Knee, and that's the fact he got a Tiger Knee and jumps in freaking slow motion. It's the entire reason he's the hardest character on the medium difficult of characters in the game. It's not the hardest character in the game, but the tools he got are not exactly the most traditional, and you actually need to think twice or just do this thing. I hate Tiger Knees. Jubei. Welcome to the hard characters in the game. That means 2 stars or 4 stars if you liked it that way. And you are like, Jubei? Jubei is hard? Actually, it's not so hard, but at the same time, it's kinda hard. Let's see basics. It's like, oh, I got a Hadouken, but this is the Shoryuken of Jubei. It's not like... This thing need to actually hit you on the floor to confirm, so you look like this. And Jubei got really high damage and really good buttons. I mean, look at the range of these things. Just look at this thing. I mean, this is round start. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I mean, Jubei buttons are big, gigantic, and it's like, hey, I got 2 swords. And guess what? I hit like this was a claymore. The biggest problem with Jubei is quite easy. First, your projectile is... Okay, it's kinda good, but it's just a projectile. Your Shoryuken, it's weird. Your super, it's a bit trashy. And the most awkward thing with Jubei is do this thing. I mean, look at this thing. What the hell is this input? To do 100 damage, I mean, it's not even... Okay, in corner do 260, it's insane good damage. But it's a machine forward attack with heavy. I'm gonna do it light. 140, it's not even an animation like Genjuro doing the with the sword. No, it's just you mashing like a psycho. Which, for a game like this, it's tricky as hell. The other problem with Jubei is the counters. Jubei is the predictable of the game. It's the Geese Howard. And you got 3 positions to parry, and you can parry kicks. Which, a lot of characters gonna do kicks all the day. Look at this kick, it's so good. You're gonna do kicks so they don't get deflect like this all the time. And especially playing with Jubei, like, oh, Jubei can just do this, and this is an anti-air. He doesn't need to do the Shoryuken. Yes, but players are gonna do this just in case. Because it's, okay, it's low damage, but I don't care. Jubei didn't counter me. Some characters like Cham Cham can do a cross with kicks in the air. And that's a big problem with Jubei. Okay, next one. Usagi, not League of Legends. Gongsun Li is a zoner, which is obvious because this is all what she do. I mean, this is your peak gameplay with Gongsun Li. But the problem with Gongsun Li, it's kinda obvious why it's a hard character to play. You actually need to set this umbrella on all over the screen. And teleport, send it up, go back to your umbrella. You got your nice arsenal to do teleports and shenanigans with the umbrella, and that's the main reason Gongsun is a problem. And if you don't believe that's a main reason, you actually need to remember how to do attacks with your weapon. That look like this, see? This one is big, this thing, this is light. This is an overhead, I believe. The thing with Gongsun Li is quite easy. You got so not usual SamSho things. She's not even playing SamSho pretty much. You actually need to practice what she does in a non-traditional way. I mean, if you got a hit confirm with Gongsun Li, this is your situation. Bang. Or you can do this, and you set the umbrella, and now you do this. Things like this. You need to set up so many things to play Gongsun Li. And if you wanted to suffer in the max level with Gongsun Li, you need to remember, oh, my super special move comes from the umbrella. Everyone is gonna be scared of that thing. Amakusa Shiro Tokizada. Okay. Easy sonar, nice song. And you got teleports. The fact you got teleports is like, hey, that's 1 point on difficulty. The other thing with Amakusa is this thing. The dive bomb. It's you need to aim it and don't get Shoryuken on your face. Also, you jump really slow, and your projectile is just this thing flying full screen and not doing exactly too much damage. You have to actually set up your opponent on situations like this. Situations like, hey, this is an overhead. Block it. Nope. Okay, again. This is an overhead. Yes, a nice far away. This is a low. And it's far away. Block. Again. And I can repeat all the freaking day because I'm annoying as hell. Also, this thing is a low. So, the overhead low play with Amakusa mixing with projectiles make him a really hard character in some directions, but it's just a hard character because it's just that simple game of mid-screen zoning with teleports, projectiles and stuff. And if someone goes too close, you should do the emergency slap. This thing. I mean, if you got some enemy too close, you just... There. You should do that, and it's 268 damage. It's just one... It's a lot! It's good damage. Just don't get teleport like a freak like me. And... yeah, it's pretty much Amakusa. Looks like the problem with Amakusa is quite simple. Your tools are mixed up all the time with mid-range neutral. Projectiles, this is a low, this is up. What is next? 50-50 game, like some kind of grappler, but with a freaking fireball. Mina. Well, the archer is more easy than playing in SamSho 5, but the problem with Mina, the bow. You need to be steady as hell with this thing. And I mean, you need to be really, really steady with the bow. This is your usual situation. Somebody rush you and you... Get out of my face! Okay, you do some damage, it's okay, you're happy, the opponent is far away. Or you choose... get out of my face, I'm gonna move away. Okay, you got that. And then you got the bow. And with the bow, somebody just think always when you are playing a Soner, you are gonna play a Hibiki or a Shiki, and it's going running to your face. And you are like, okay, what am I gonna do? Mid, jumping, low, drop back jump, power jump. You need to stay with the bow always charging in order to do maximum damage. I mean, she doesn't get nice damage unless you do actually something like this, which is astounding damage. You gotta Shoryu, you gotta kick, you gotta reflect, but your thing is pretty much get the Oki, throw your opponent and it's, hey, get ready, dodge, dodge, dodge! This is your game. That's the problem with Mina. You just need to play that, hey, I got a bow and then I'm into your face. What are you gonna do? And the opponent needs to play the chicken game, and it's like, draw. Shiki. Problem with Shiki, it's quite interesting. I mean, you got like, hey, I got Shoryuken. I got this ultra easy confirm, like, come on, it's just medium, 1, 2, that's it. That's your combo with Shiki. Congratulations, you do 262 and it doesn't have rage. So, Shiki do some quite good damage, got a Shoryuken, got a Tatsumaki. And you are like, okay, what's the problem? That sounds like some kind of Russian without projectiles, so I'm okay with that. Number 1, the teleport. The teleport, it's just looks like useless in some situations because you can switch side with the opponent on maximum range. I mean, look at this. I miss. You need to be literally melee to your opponent like this, and you even miss. You need to calculate really good with Shiki to do that kind of moves, because you can dodge a projectile with Shiki doing this, but if you do a shoot defense, it's better. I mean, you look cool by doing the teleport, but eh. The other problem with Shiki is the command grab. This thing is the most annoying to do move in the entire game, probably. I mean, look at this thing! this is not a pirouette. This is supposed to be a command grab. I'm gonna try to do it. The melee range is the most easy. No, I miss. Look the range I am. I just pretty much on melee to do this thing. So you need to remember the exact position on the screen. You need to do this. I mean, this is pretty much round start distance, and it's the heavy one. So you need to actually remember the distance pretty perfect to do this command grab, which is a really good Oki. Why? Because from this distance it's optimal for Shiki. You need to be a bit far away from hitting every single of your buttons. Why? Because this is the other problem with Shiki. I mean, you can say, okay, I can miss the leveler, I can be really bad with the command grab, but this is the biggest problem with Shiki. Like attack. You notice the difference? 31. 31. You notice the difference? Exactly, there's no difference. Shiki lack close attacks. Unlike other characters, if you see the attack, okay, this is the heavy attack of Shiki. 252, nice damage, blah blah blah. But if you're close, do this. 210, okay, so less damage like most of the characters. But Shiki lacks lag attack short, medium attack short, lag attack close, crouching. With the mediums the same problem. With the heavy the same problem. Shiki lacks a lot of short range attack. She got insane good medium attacks, but lacks all the medium attacks also. What the heck is this thing? Just look at this thing. It's the most weird cross ever. I hit by miracle. I got 5 tries and I still missing. And I have to be really close to the ground to do it. Even if your game plan is just back, I got you, I got the Oki. And I'm in a rush, so this is okay. Your lack of really close buttons makes you kinda a problem. I mean, you got this thing. Okay, it's gigantic, it's a low, it's awesome, and you knock down the opponent. But you don't have this thing, and some characters are gonna do it much more faster than you. The best thing Shiki got in her arsenal is actually her super special, because it's the Sonar Killer. I mean, look at this thing. Just goes anywhere in the screen and it's like, oh, you do a Hadouken. Omae wa Moshineru, bro. Yes, too much female attention. For the most part, Shiki looks like an easy character, because got some easy things to do. But in order to get potential, you got these situations, these problems, with these meaningless problems, which are 3 of them, and that's a big problem. But for the most part, Shiki is an excellent character if you want to just kill Galford. Okay, next one is Baiken. Baiken is a hard character because she actually got too many tools. Like, for real. Baiken, it's like, hey, I got Baiken, I can do this. And I just need to remember to do this. And you are like, oh, I'm so freaking good. But the problem with Baiken is, this is Baiken from XR, this is not Baiken from Stripe. You need to do the Asami all the time also. So you need to do this, and you also get counter quite easy. It's like, hey, I got this button, it's insane big, this button can be parry. But you need to play the Asami, you need to play the dash, the Tatami Gaeshi. The Shosen-sen is a Shoryuken in the air, so you need to do Tiger Knee. You can actually do something like this. But the other problem, the Shosen-sen, that Shoryuken in the air, is the rage move. So your best move is a Tiger Knee. Most of the situation Baiken is, even if she's pretty much one of the best characters in the game, requires a lot of practice. Don't miss input ever. Also, she got the worst, yes, it's the worst SSMM in the game. This thing is so long, so short range, so insanely stupid short range. You can even do a parry throw away the opponent weapon, and maybe if you are bad luck, the opponent is too far away to actually hit the SSM. So, ouch. For the most part, Baiken is exceptionally good because, okay, I got anti-air, I got a sting, I can stop projectiles, I can just skip neutral with armor, I got this command grab, and it's faster than XR, but it's not that easy as it looks like. For the most part, be careful with picking Baiken. Next one is Nakoruru. Nakoruru is actually a quite hard character by a number of reasons. Number one, it's stubby as hell. I mean, look at this thing. This is the longest attack in your arsenal. I miss. Yay, I hit. Okay, it's freaking long. It's freaking short. Most of Nakoruru attacks are insane short range as her sword. Even if Nakoruru can do jump wall, air command grab, projectile, anti-air, low, you need to actually be careful with doing every single attack in her arsenal. I mean, the most awkward in her arsenal is by far the down back input. Look at this. This is down back. Okay, it's Mamaka, it's a projectile. Cool. This is Shoryuken back. I mean, back, down, down, back. And you can do one more hit to extra damage. And this is back, down. You got 3 moves in 2 buttons. Have fun! Nakoruru can fly. And of course, you are open to pretty much every Shoryuken in the entire game while you're doing the whoosh and flying. I mean, congratulations Mamaka, but you are an open target lady. You have to keep the pressure a lot with Nakoruru to actually be some kind of threat. You can do a lot of Okiseme. I mean, everything is knockdown. Everything leads to a knockdown, but it's kinda hard. The most fun fact about all, this is a heavy slash, okay? 252. Okay, this is the actual optimal damage. 283. Yes, you do more damage than your heavy slash with another move. This is one of the few characters in the game who actually do that, which is insane weird for someone with rage. Oof. Nakoruru, it's a top one. Okay, we are finally in the top 3, and this is difficult 1 or 5. This is very hard. These 3 are the most hard to play characters in the game. The first one is Ruixiang. Why? Because her buttons are freaking weird. I mean, okay, this is kinda high. This looks okay, but this is the medium. You're like, this is the heavy? No, this is the medium. Look at the recovery. It takes forever. This thing is like, hey, fly! All her buttons are... I mean, you got this low thing, but as you can notice, the buttons are not exactly as expected, or as are what you expect, and they are kinda dumb, to be honest. Sorry, Wu. That's a reality. I mean, you can use it, but your buttons are not exactly the science. Also, you're not so fast. Your jump is a bit slowly. First of all, you play the Sonic game. And not exactly the Galford Sonic game. I mean the slow as hell Sonic game. Low, medium, high, heavy. You get? You attack enemies who are jumping. Which, with this, the good part is you actually got a knockdown, all of them, which is awesome. Why? Because the other thing of the massive gameplay of Ruixiang is this thing. You actually want to set the trap, because the trap do 100 damage. It's a really good move, the trap. But as you can see, I can put the trap behind my opponent outside the screen, so I need to actually be careful with when I put in this thing. I can do a Shoryu pretty easy, which is actually a really good Shoryu. I mean, look at this thing. It's gigantic enormous. My opponent Cham and I just freaking roast him with lightning. I can do the fire to make my opponent fly away. I mean, look at this range. It's good damage, it's a bit of good range, but as you can notice, Wu attacks are like, this is probably the best attack of hers. The down medium, her medium can be good. The low can make, the low is kind of funny because look at this. Make the opponent goes back. I mean, the animation is kind of funny. It's like, hey, oh my shield, and catch it again. And the heavy is like, hey, get away from me. Also, you can get away from me and get the range to do it again, which is never happens, but at least you know it can be happen. The other thing about Ruixiang and not choose shield shenanigans, unlike choose shield shenanigan things, the biggest thing with Ruixiang arsenal is, of course, when I say the trap, because you can do this thing. I mean, if you do this, everyone is dead. Because your main goal is to make enemies fall on the trap, and if you get lucky, do this thing. But as you can imagine, it's freaking hard because everyone is gonna try to block this thing, which is insane easy to spot. It's like, oh, it's in the floor. Ruixiang is spamming things. And I'm gonna wake up and this thing is on my floor. I'm gonna just block and wait. That's the problem with Ruixiang. Your entire plan is make your enemies fall in the trap. You got nice tools, but as you can see, even nice tools can make your life hard. Number 2 on difficult is Basara. Why Basara? I mean, it's quite obvious, right? You're playing this thing. The guy who do this. Full screen, baby! Shoryuken full screen! Just kidding, it's the feints. Of course, it's are the feints. I mean, just look at this input. Shoryu back, light, medium, heavy, light and kick, medium and kick, and heavy and kick. You got 6 feints! Bro, what's your problem with life? You need to actually remember how to do this. This. This, and this. And you're like, why I need to remember to do all these things? Because your entire character is based on make your opponent suffer full screen attacks like this. Because you are like, hey, I'm gonna do this. And make my opponent with a normal attack. Let's just say my opponent jumps and attack me forward. And I go like, yeah, take this. And I drop a Shoryuken. All the time you want your opponent to whiff an attack and just punish. Basara's 101. Feints, setups, all freaking day. And if you got enemy close, you do this. Congratulations, you play Basara. By the way, don't do this just by now, like that. And this thing is a similar input to this. Or this. So, hey, Basara gameplay. And finally, the last character, the hardest character in the game, the tough one, the big guy, the cool guy, because the cool ninja have to be, it's Hanzo Hattori. Scorpion is the most difficult character in the game. Why? It's actually not so difficult to understand, but let's begin. First off, Hanzo can't do combos. And you're like, yeah, you're playing SamSho. No, I mean, for real, literally can't do combos. The only combo Hanzo can do is the super. See? Doesn't combo. This is the most combo you can do. Hey, 3 hits! Congratulations. And weapon flick technique. Hit and weapon flick technique is your only combo with Hanzo. So in conditions of, hey, I'm gonna do some cool get out of my way, You can't. Hanzo is a grappler. He do this. Every situation for Hanzo is, hey, I'm gonna do this. Woohoo! Command grabs. That's the entire game plan of Hanzo. That and teleports. I mean, you got teleports in 1, 2, 3, 4 positions. Fake teleport because of Rizzo 3 times. And you got in your head teleport. In your feet teleport. And just again a command grab. Your entire game plan is just, I'm gonna command grab yourself to death. To teleports and randomly throw this and run behind and catch you. But Hanzo can do any single combo. All her stuff is, this is a projectile. Block it, because I'm gonna teleport in your face and do a command grab. And that's it. That's my game. Hanzo also got the neutrals, I say, like Cham Cham. He runs and this is a low. He runs and this is a switch side. Low again. Medium. Look at the heavy attack. Just look at this heavy attack. I'm not doing a special move. This is literally one button. And the guy just decided to randomly jumps and hit twice with the sword. Hanzo is playing the most footsies game possible with grabs. With command grab. And by far, that's why Hanzo is the hardest to play character in the entire game. That's it. That's all the characters on SamSho in a second review, just to show you how easy or how difficult it is to play the characters. On very easy, easy, neutral, hard, and very hard. In some scenarios, you might say, no, this character is more easy, just like Jubei. Or this character is a bit harder, like Hibiki, because of their tools. But the game plan, the possibility of getting parry, all that kind of stuff, are essential parts of the game plan. And this character have to think it twice or even more to do stuff. When the rollback comes out completely, which is hopefully soon, I will do more exhibition matches and more videos. But for now, show worry.